The most amazing part about this building is it was built at the same time the Scottish Rite Temple was built right up the street. What they did, these are 16 individual towers that are in this building, and the brick itself is 27 inches thick at each location. So we were brought in because the building itself never had a fresh air intake in the building at all, ever. Shapiro and Duncan, they were hired to be the mechanical contractor, and ATS Studios was hired to put everything back together to make it look like it never got ripped apart after all of the mechanical ductwork, chases, and HVAC systems were put into the building. We designed and created the access so that the mechanical guys can get in here at a later date. But we had to take all the historic wood apart, put it back together, and then we had to kind of stage it and make it look like it wasn't a construction site during the same process. And it was gonna probably just look like this obnoxious duct that was gonna be in the middle of this plaster. And this is really not a joke. We kind of designed it on a napkin. We were just sitting here going, okay, look at these flutes, and then look at these flutes, and then look at, and we just drew it up and we came up with this design. It was so well done. I found out later on that the CEO was down here, one of the second in charge, and we were fitting the sheet metal in behind the ductwork, but he literally was about ready to have a heart attack because he thought we were ruining the historic plaster. This door was never here. We cut through this entire wall. So this is just one of those individual 16 towers that are in the building that we were able to find access to put mechanical in. Once you come into the rotunda, you can appreciate, we had more penetrations, duct penetrations here. You can see the other, again, the identical vent on this side. To be an ornamental plasterer, this is something that a lot of people don't understand. You must be a carpenter first, because we build all of our own cornice frames. We build all of our own screeds, custom. We pour and cast all of our own molds in-house. But with that comes a lot of very intricate carpentry work. Just to kind of give you an idea, these holes were very large for them. And so we had to do all the faux plaster. This is all plaster, so we do all the faux plaster work as well to make it look like this door has always been there. Because of that fresh air intake that was coming into the building, they had to put a turbine here in the center of the ceiling, and this was just flat. We wanted to put something new into the building in the plaster that had a meaning about what Carnegie does. And they do a lot of wind studies all over the world. I believe this exceeded everybody's expectation for this staircase.
We are at the U.S. Capitol here. MCW bid and won a complete redo of the House of Representatives audio system. Every single microphone, every single speaker. There was 700 some speakers that we replaced on 3 different kinds of speakers. It was technically a 4-month project, but we had to work around the schedule of when they were going to be in session, and we started in March pre-wiring. Working in the evenings, starting at 10 o'clock and working till about 5 in the morning. We technically had 4 weeks in August where we had to take down the complete older system, but we couldn't take it down until the new system was ready, because there always had to be an audio system available if anything happened. So it was a very challenging project. We redesigned as we went. Because of the historic nature of the building, there wasn't cable pass, and we could not create cable pass. It is a complete failover system. So that was a big challenge, to be able to wire everything up twice and make sure everything worked.
Do you have any drawings, Tom?
No drawings. There was, so we asked that at our first construction meeting. We brought the engineer, the project manager, and myself, and we sat down and we said, okay, we know where all these speakers are supposed to go because they gave us a furniture plan, but we need drawings of the building. How are we going to get our cables there? Where is this located? There's no drawings. You walk with us, we'll show you. And we really had to find somebody that had worked there for years and ask them, hey, if we need to get 20 cables from here to here, what are your thoughts? So it was a difficult project. Logistics were very difficult, but we had a lot of help. Eddie Boris did an amazing job, and all our technicians, very selfless. They worked incredibly weird hours, and there was a lot of missed family time in the month of August to pull this off. And we did it, and we recently provided support for the State of the Union address, and it went great. And we were very happy and very proud to put our name on this project.
So this is 600 Massachusetts Avenue. The glass and glazing subcontractor was Couples. They're a sister company to Enclose. The field forces were all Enclose personnel. The system is made up of a custom curtain wall system on this side of the job. We also have punch windows on the east side, or the west side and the south side of the project. This side of the project has a lot of ins and outs and corners, a lot of horizontal mullions. The design is for this side of the job to match the rest of Massachusetts Avenue, kind of the more modernized buildings. What you notice when we get to the south side of the project is it's more to match the older construction of Chinatown, more brick and masonry and punch windows, and there's a Chinese frit on the glass on that side. All of these curtain wall units are 2 stories, so we had a mobile crane all around the site. We did not use the tower crane. It's a 12-story office building. What we consider the first and second floor to be the storefront, and then the curtain wall system that repeats goes all the way up. But one of the issues that we had to work through once we got at the site was, if you see this corner mullion down here, and these corners, they're open corners that run up the entire, all the way up the building. The original design that the architect wanted, they just wanted it to be a very thin gap, but just a straight cut aluminum. Our first shipment of units came out. We started looking with the owner, and nobody liked how that looked. We came up with a way that we could cut these mullions on the building and install these end caps. There's a steel frame, subframe that's inside the building that was provided by Couples and Enclose to support the sloping glass of this nature. The outside corner is one unit, one solid unit, that wide corner, and then the flyby piece of glass was actually assembled on the ground and then flown into place with the unit beside it. On the entire south side of the job, this is where the glass changes. Instead of it being a lot of horizontal mullions, a lot of corners, now we have these 2-story, these sunshades that are also incorporated into the 2-story units. The sunshade can actually withstand the weight of a man standing on it, and make sure that when they're window washers, if somebody stood on it when they're swinging the building to clean it. Just like on the outside, you have these thin reveals. The architect wanted to have a very low profile look for the glass, and I want to see more glass than metal. One of the big challenges was making sure that the entire bottom was perfectly level. When they build a building, they build it to own it for long term, so they have extremely high pride in their buildings and extremely high level of expectations.